Hello, I'm Michael Gross, host of the B&O Railroad Museum Television Network. This is the newly restored Thatcher Perkins locomotive at the B&O Railroad Museum in Baltimore. It is one of 6 locomotives in the museum's collection that served the Union during the American Civil War.
The Thatcher Perkins engine was designed to haul first-class passenger trains from Cumberland, Maryland to Grafton, West Virginia. The number 147 is named for the B&O's master machinist, Mr. Thatcher Perkins. One of 11 460s built at the Mount Clair shops in 1863, it weighed 67,800 pounds and was one of the heaviest locomotives of its time. The number 147 and its sister engines were built to replace some of those captured or destroyed by the Confederates in 1861. They carried both troops and supplies for the Union war effort. The Thatcher Perkins' main area of operation was the mountainous region west of Harper's Ferry. No position in Civil War railroading was more glamorous than that of locomotive engineer. Of the thousands of people employed by the railroad, only a select few had the skill set to push forward the throttle, blow the whistle, and pilot a trainload of freight or passengers to its final destination. One of these unique individuals was Joseph H. Toomey. Born in 1833, Joe Toomey began working for the B&O Railroad as an apprentice machinist about 1850. As he learned the crafts of railroading, he was promoted to machinist, fireman, and eventually locomotive engineer before the Civil War began. Toomey ran trains during all 4 years of the Civil War. His salary was $4 per day, regardless of the number of hours worked. Operating a locomotive during the war had its share of danger. Besides an attack by rebel forces or a derailment, there was always the threat of a boiler exploding. After the war, Toomey remained with the B&O and eventually rose to the position of supervisor of 1st Division and Frederick Branch. When he died in 1912, he was one of the oldest engineers on the retired list of the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad.
This is Michael Gross. Thanks for watching the B&O Railroad Museum Television Network.
Interested in learning more about the B&O Railroad Museum in Ellicott City Station? Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
Perched high on a hill overlooking the city of Baltimore is Mount Clair, the 1756 Georgian home of Charles Carroll Barrister. A pre-Revolutionary War politician, Carroll and his wife Margaret Tillman built one of Maryland's finest houses and furnished it in high style. A designated National Historic Landmark, Mount Clair boasts one of America's finest collections of furniture and decorative arts. Great stories of colonial Maryland, the American Revolution, slavery and plantation life, early industry, the coming of the railroad, the Civil War and beyond are all told in this magnificent house. Members of the B&O Railroad Museum have free access to Mount Clair anytime, and visitors to the B&O in Baltimore can now take an historic train ride to Mount Clair. Visit our website for scheduled trips and plan your visit now.
Across the United States, the rising cost of government, coupled with tough economic conditions, has forced cities and towns to do more with less. That's when they turn to Grant Capital Management for alternative funding solutions. Grant Capital Management, a leading provider of lease financing to the public sector, helps public administrators supplement their capital budgets, enabling them to provide essential community services. Founder and CEO J.P. Grant believes in giving back to the communities in which it conducts business. While working in New Orleans, Grant Capital Management made a significant donation to fund the New Orleans Recreation Development Foundation's youth programs. As a result, new recreation activities and the Summer Jobs Initiative helped reduce crime. When a fiscal crisis in Grant Capital Management's home city of Baltimore threatened to close municipal swimming pools, their financial assistance made it possible for Baltimore's children to have a safe and happy summer. And when the company learned of the award-winning early childhood learning programs at the B&O Railroad Museum, they provided funding to help the museum develop programs especially tailored for at-risk youth. Grant Capital Management believes that giving back is more than an obligation. It's a way of doing business.